Hey, this is the first anime review on Aniga 17, a site that would exist if we had money, or at least rich dead relatives who liked us.
If you know anything about video reviews, you may have heard of Yahtzee, the pessimistic British-born Australian-based video game reviewer bent on destroying all things fun. To answer your question, yes, this is a blatant ripoff of his godly works. I figure if we're supposed to follow in Jesus' footsteps, what's the difference? Anyway, now if you know anything about anime besides the US fan-based animes, because I assume everyone who watches this is from the US since I'm an American cowboy who's denser than iridium, you've heard of Lucky Star. Lucky Star follows the lives of 4 high school girls coping with everyday situations. Like how to eat a pastry. I know, you're already interested. And yes, this is a real scene. In fact, how to eat food makes up the storyline of the entire first episode. But let's save that juicy slap to the face for when the ranting really starts. For now, let's just get into the characters. First off is Konata Izumi, a short girl whose love of anime, manga, and video games is only topped by the most crazed otakus. She's essentially how any of us nerd folk begin to go, oh right, that's me, when she's alienated for her obsessions. It almost makes you feel accepted in normal society. Almost. Next is Kagami Hiragi, the wannabe anorexic but can't be because she loves food too much character of the series. Along with her hatred of food, she's also constantly put into other classes than her friends, making her a loner. Her tragic life of looking like a stick yet assuring everyone she's gained 2 pounds brings a tear to any woman's eye. But hey, there's a fix to everything. Next up to the line is Miyuki Takara, the girl who seems to know the answer to every trivial question. Considering how trivial every situation is, she has her work cut out for herself. For those who are looking for a certain Moa character in the series, she's the glasses-wearing character, sicko. You know, sicko, like that friend you have who thinks you're a friend when you really aren't because of that one time you made the mistake of asking them for a pencil and now they know more about your wardrobe than you do and you have nightmares about the day you run into them sniffing your sock drawer. Then there's Tsukasa Hiragi, the fraternal twin sister of You know what? Forget this. Let's just get into the real destruction. If it's not already evident, creativity wasn't a concern with the production of this anime, but Lucky Star's lack of originality doesn't stop at the characters. With Konata at hand to spell out any string of anime, manga, or video game titles at any time, you run into other real-life references. The series even references specific shrines in other places in Japan, getting hardcore otaku scrambling to see the sights. It's great and all, but I can't help but feel left out of all the fun. Sure, I may grab more than half the video game and anime references, but I'd love a nice reference to say, the Wendy's near my house. That way, every time I convince myself it'll taste fine, I can at least suffer later knowing it was all from my passion of anime. Not that I'm obsessed. But enough about the specifics of the series, let's get into the storyline. Oh wait, there is none. Nothing. To the last episode, the characters haven't changed, Konata hasn't learned anything from gaming too much, though I'm one to talk, and the closest you ever come to a plot is someone almost gets a boyfriend. Wow, Pip Yuki, it sounds as if this show couldn't get any more random and pointless unless they stuck an absurd title like, oh, I don't know, Lucky Star? Yes, folks, even the title has nothing to do with the anime. Personally, I hated the first episode. I couldn't relate and it wasn't funny at all to me. Maybe it was that literally more than half the episode simply was the girls talking about how to prepare and eat food. I'm not a big Food Network fan, so it shouldn't come exactly as a surprise that the episode sucked. Or maybe it was the lack of introduction. Apparently it's assumed that you've already read the user's guide to Lucky Star. I suppose a nice user's guide wouldn't be so bad since it might actually explain the title to me. Oh, but God forbid something in the show turns out to make sense. A month later, after seeing the first episode, I came back to watch the second, only to find the series had suddenly become funny. It wasn't so funny until I went, wow, that's me. But honestly, you could watch this through a bunch of tiny YouTube video clips and it wouldn't make any less sense. Imagine you put all the possible things you could do in the world into a hat, shook it up, and every day pulled out an idea for what you could do that day. That's about how the series flows. The last point to address is the opening song. It's a poppy Japanese female vocal-driven song that drove me nuts the first time I heard it. I couldn't even listen to it fully. By the end of the series, though, after hearing it more than 24 times, I finally am beginning to accept it. I may not be the crazy fan who sings and learns the dance to it, but at least I no longer want to kill babies. Okay, alright, to its credit, the whole series is actually based off a 4-panel comic strip called Lucky Star. I guess the real charm of it all lies in when you can begin to connect with situations, bizarre questions that come up. But back to the original issue, come on! You're watching an anime review. Chances are pretty good you've already accepted the fact that you don't follow the social norm. It's just cruel to convince poor little otakus that society still loves them.